Magna Carta, Lincoln, the home, of course, of one of the original copies, quite apart from Lincoln's other extraordinary history in other areas. So first of all, I'd just like to thank all of you very, very much indeed for coming along this evening. It's an absolute pleasure to see you all, and I do hope that you will enjoy this debate. I just want to briefly mention the three organisations behind this event. One of them is the Freedom Association, of which I am the chief executive. My name is Simon Richards, and we've been going never near as long as as Magna Carta, a mere 40 years this year, but maybe not such bad going in the annals of sort of political pressure group. And we are a cross-party political pressure group, essentially putting a case for traditional British freedoms. And so that's organisation number one. And the other organisation, the Hampden Trust, is named after John Hampden, who was, some of you I'm sure will have heard of, but who was a remarkable man who took on abuse of state power during the reign of Charles I. There was an attempt to levy ship money, which was done without parliamentary authority, and he stood up against that and was imprisoned as a result. And so really the point that he was making was very much in line with what the barons actually in their day were saying, their opposition to King John's abuse of power back in the days of Magna Carta. And that's an educational charity which, amongst other things, has published the booklet that you'll see around you, and please do take those with you. It's a booklet that we published a year or two ago, which is trying to explain Magna Carta to school children, to sort of secondary school children, school students. But actually, it's a very good general read. It's a little bit like those horrible history books that you may have seen. Because, which brings me on to a point I'd like to make about Magna Carta, which is, of course, a lot of people don't really understand much about it, and that's what we're trying to do with this, the first in a series of 10 debates which we're holding throughout this year. But we have held some other things. We've held Runnymede boat trips ending up at the Magna Carta Memorial. I think we've held 18 of those over the years. So I think I can honestly say we have a very good record over very many years in pushing that. And in the year when the film of Paddington Bear has come out, if there are any trivia fans here, we've actually had two Peruvian speakers in that over the years. One of whom, for anybody who remembers the Goons, was Michael Benteen. And the other one is Daniel Hannan. Yeah, that's right. Philip knew that, of course. Daniel Hannan, the Conservative MEP. We haven't yet got Paddington Bear along, but we may do that at some point. The point I want to emphasise is that this is something we've been promoting for many years, the importance of Magna Carta, it's not just something we've jumped on the bandwagon for the 800th anniversary this year. And the final organisation, this is an organisation I would like to say a massive thank you to, is the Federalist Society. To give it its full term, the Federalist Society for Law and Public Policy Research, which I've probably got wrong, Paul, but yeah, I knew I would. I remembered it before. But the Federalist Society is a fantastic organisation based in the United States. And it has as its members 65,000 American lawyers. And we're very privileged here to have this evening Paul Zimmerman from the Federalist Society. And I want to thank, first of all, Paul personally for the enormous support that you've given us throughout this project, Paul, and all you've done for the cause of liberty in this country, quite apart from what you do in the States. But also the Federalist Society generally, who have very generously supported us in this venture. It is a fantastic organisation, and we're very humbled and very proud to be involved with you, Paul, and delighted you could be here this evening. So that's the background of this debate, and I now just want to introduce our two speakers. The first on the side who will be proposing a motion that Magna Carta is irrelevant in the 21st century, Philip Johnston, and this is not just the usual politeness that I say this, but I'm an enormous fan of Philip's. He is a truly remarkable man. He's written for at least 20 years on the Telegraph the most superb articles of defending freedom and traditional liberties in this country. And I really cannot praise him too much. And Philip, I honestly feel very honoured that you're here. Up to this. No, I really don't say it lightly. Philip is actually, he's a very modest man. He's not like some Piers Morgan who goes on some game shows and things. But,
I'm actually on the next Get Me Out of Here.
A very great man, and it's been a maybe slightly difficult couple of weeks for the Daily Telegraph. But Philip has reminded that there are people of great quality on that newspaper, none more so than Philip. And as assistant editor of the Daily Telegraph and a chief leader writer as well, he's had enormous influence over the years, and I have to say, most overwhelmingly for good. He's a thoroughly decent man, and all that he stands for are things that I'm sure that almost everybody, and it's not a party political issue, I think would very much agree with. So please do look out for Philip's writing his regular articles in the Telegraph. I cannot recommend them too highly. It's a great privilege to have you here, Philip. And putting the opposition case, Ewen Stewart is somebody I've had the great pleasure of knowing for many years now, Ewen, mere youth though you are. Ewen has a very rare distinction of having been a candidate in both Glasgow and Edinburgh in general elections, I believe I'm right in saying.
That's right, that's why I'm here.
A very brave man, because he stood for the Conservative cause, in Glasgow. Ewen, apart from being a good friend, has done a tremendous job of work for us quite recently. He's done a publication which is looking at where Magna Carta is now, how real it is now, how relevant it is, which of course is fundamental to this debate. And his background, as politics is really only a small part of what Ewen said, has been a very successful analyst in the city over years. And it's as an analyst that we asked him to do this, and he's done actually a tremendous job on that. And we will make sure that anybody for whom we've got your email details, you get a copy of that booklet when we produce it in a few weeks' time. I'm sure you'll find it a very interesting read. That's more than enough from me. Just very briefly, the format is going to be that Philip and Ewen are going to speak for 15 or 20 minutes each, then I'll ask them each to have about 5 minutes to counter maybe any of the points that have been raised by each speaker. And then this important stuff happens, which is we open the floor to you. And we're not having strict Oxford Union Society rules here. We want a really free and open debate. So you don't need to worry about, whether you're speaking for or against the motion. What we want is to get a good discussion going. Not just with our speakers, but amongst yourselves. That's always the best of all. So please do feel free afterwards to get involved, ask questions, make a little speech, whatever you like. This